Hey everyone, JJ here with a quick tutorial on how I do my soldering for my track feeders. There are a number of ways to do this, none of them are right or wrong, so this is just another one. This is what I do. So this is the flux I use, nothing special, it works for me, it has some advantages to it that help the solder flow to the rail, kind of like frays that, or not frays that, kind of just like you guys will see it here in a little bit. But anyway, first thing we'll do is go ahead and jump in and get this started. First thing we'll do is we'll get your wire strippers, and I'm using 20 gauge wire for my feeders. You just want to do a 1/4 inch about. Make sure you have it in the right notch, and then I just crimp, twist a little bit, crimp again, and I put it in the 18, and then I pull. And then you're left with something that looks about like that. You'll see little frayed ends and stuff. And what you want to do now is you just want to give it a good twist. You don't want to squeeze too hard. You just want to hold just enough friction so that it's twirling it. And then it should look about something like that. All the wires will be kind of coiled around each other, and that's what you want. So now what you want to do, obviously you don't have 3 hands, so what I do is I take a pair of pliers and I just kind of, well, actually first, sorry, you just want to give this a little twirl in the solder, and just to get a little bit of flux on there, just enough so there's just a little bit on there, about, just a little bit. You don't want too much, but because it's too much you obviously will waste it. So, and then you just want to touch it with your soldering iron. This over here. And you just want to give it a quick touch. See, it kind of starts to smoke. Alright, now your rail is clean, or your wire is clean. So you want to take your solder and just want to touch it on there. And you want to get a good amount on there too. You don't want to go skimpy on this step. You just want to get a good layer of solder on there. And now your wire is tinned. Don't worry if it looks kind of bad. You are going to be cutting a lot of this off. So, as you can see, the end of it isn't that great. The very tip of it isn't that great, but the end is what you really need. So if you have half of it, nice, that's good. So now what you want to do is you just want to leave about that much, about 1/8 of an inch probably, and then you'll be left with this. Just take the end of it, the very tip of your pliers, and you just want to bend it over L-shaped like that. And then if you don't like how much stuff you have sticking out, cut a little bit off. So that's probably a little too much snipped off there. That's about what you want, just a little bit, just enough so it grabs the rail. And that's pretty much it for tinning your wire. Alright, so the next step is preparing the track for the feeder wires. What you want to do is you want to get a drill bit just a little bit bigger than your wire, just so there's a little bit of friction, but not a whole lot. Like, you want the wire to be kind of hidden behind, but you can still see it through the threads. And then right there. Okay, sorry. You want to find where you're gonna put your hole, and then you want to make sure your bus wires are pretty close to where you're drilling holes too. And that's pretty much it for that step. Now what you want to do is you want to get some flux on the rail. So I gotta plug back in my soldering iron here. Only got 1 extension cord, so anyway, what you want to do is you want to get your flux and toothpick, or probably not a Q-tip, probably absorb too much to it, and well, that's a little bit too much, but get a little bit on there. You don't want too much. Sorry for the noise in the background there. And then once you got a good bit on there, touch it with your soldering iron just so it turns liquid. And it should look something like that. And then you may have noticed some of it went on the rail above, so you just wipe that off. And that's it for that. So now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and get your feeder wire in the hole, your drill hole there, and get it all the way through, and then get underneath and just start to slowly pull it down. And then what you want to do is just bend it a little bit forward, that way it's kind of wants to bend that way. And once you get it, make sure it's centered or wherever you want your feeder wire. What you're going to do is just going to get a good amount of flux, or soldering iron, and then you just want to touch the tip of the wire. And then what you want to do is you want to give a good tug on it. If it doesn't come out, then it's a solid joint, and that is it for that. And now you have your feeder wire soldered to your rail, and it's not going anywhere. So now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and get your feeder wire attached to your bus. Just take your suitcase connector, snap it on there, pull your wire through, make sure it's all the way through, it touches all the way to the back. You want to make sure they're in the right holes too, so. And then get a good hefty pair of pliers, and then just give it a good crimp. If it's flush, then you just snap it down, and then you're good to go. Alright, so honestly that's it for installing track feeders. Now everything you saw obviously will have to be repeated twice, because this is just for one rail. I didn't show you guys the other side. The other side is exactly the same, nothing different. The only difference is instead of like doing this way, you're going to be like that way, and there's nothing different. You just have to lean over your layout just a little bit. But honestly, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something. If not, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, thanks for watching.